Hey y'all, in today's video I'm going to be assembling my new Maslow M2 CNC by MakerMade. If you saw last week's episode, then you saw me make this fold-up stand for it. The first step in assembling the CNC was unboxing and knolling the parts. Knolling was made popular by Tom Sachs and means to arrange like objects in parallel or 90-degree angles as a method of organization. Alright, so it looks like the first step is connecting the motors to the Arduino. This ended up actually being not the first step. I messed up and was looking at the wrong instructions for this particular CNC model by Maslow. I was looking at the original CNC instructions that I found somewhere, and I don't know where I found them. But yeah, so I messed with this for probably an hour and could not get it to work. In my search for the right directions, I found some different instructions, and I will be following those for the rest of this video. Because my CNC is ceiling mounted, I did not want to leave my waste board attached to it because of the weight, so I plan on taking it on and off whenever I use the machine. To make this easier to store and move around, I decided to cut my backer sheet in half. Because I cut it in half, I then had to add some extra feet for it to sit on. The first step of assembling the CNC itself was attaching the motor and the motor mounts to the top beam of the CNC stand. Now it's time to attach the chains, and I just follow the instructions and then I see something interesting in the instructions. It says go up 1.5 inches and 6 inches towards the center from the end of the top beam. Like this. But then in this picture down here, you see the nail is way out here, like 6 inches away from it. So that's really confusing. So I scoured the internet for more information, and I found this video here.
Now we're going to measure 15 inches in from the ends of our top beam, and then 1.5 inches up from the bottom, and on each end there we're going to put a little X. That is where we're going to hammer the nail.
Now after finally figuring out the proper placement of our nail, we can get the nails moved to the right location, and then we can put the chain on and attach the chains together using the spring. So the way this works is this chain is going around the motor, and this motor has a sprocket on it. That goes over to this sprocket, which has a hole in it, which is attached to one of these chains that twists. I forget what those are called. I'm sure they have a technical name. And that connects to a spring. We do the same on the other side. And that way, I know on the original model they didn't have this spring, and so this chain would just like sit loose and stuff all the time, but this spring allows it to have constant tension on the sprockets, which holds it in place all the time. Next I assembled the sled, which attaches the router to the chains, and also the Z-axis is on here, and that took me about an hour to assemble, but it went pretty easily. I picked up the router they recommended, which was the DeWalt 611, and that is what I'm going to be using on this machine. Next I attached the Arduino to the frame and attached the plugs to the motors, and then plugged in my computer. Alright, so here is the Arduino. This black cord is the power cord, which I have plugged in over here. This cord runs to my computer. Then we have the left motor and the right motor and the Z motor. So the left motor runs over here to this motor, which is technically the right on the back, but it's the left when you're facing from the front. Then the other one goes to the other side over there. Then this Z motor, which I have right here, I run it underneath and plug it in to the Z motor on the router. And then I take the cord from the Arduino and plug it into the computer. After that, I attach the sled with the router to the chains. Alright, so I'm going to give you a little bit more of a close-up look of the router sled. So we have the router, which is attached with this bracket here, and then this is the Z motor, and the cord plugs in right here. I don't have it plugged in right now, but it moves this up and down for the depth of the cut. It rides on this big sled here. This is how the chains connect to these little roller things, so when it moves around, they move with it. It's weighed down with just 2 bricks, which is very simple. Then down here is where you hook up your dust port, so the dust comes out of this hole here and you can vacuum it up. After getting everything assembled, I went about calibrating everything, and I got it moving, but I could not get it calibrated. So after like 8 hours or 10 hours of that day, I called it quits. It's almost 9 p.m. I'm done for the day. You hear that really annoying buzzing sound? Yeah, that's the motors. They do that all the time and they never stop. So if you buy the CNC, get used to that sound. Right, it's time to get it set up and ready for day 2 of trying to get this CNC working. I did most of the work this day off camera because I was just frustrated and trying to figure it out. But I figured out the calibration process for finding the edges. And so I ran that couple times, maybe 10 times or something, trying to find the edges, and I made a design in easel to try to cut out. The thing that I could not figure out this day was the z-axis, and that is where everything goes wrong. Alright, at this point I thought I was ready to turn the router on and make my first cut, but that did not work. And I broke the bit that I was using, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for day 2. I have been working on my CNC for like 4 hours, trying to get this program to work and get the CNC to work. And I almost got it, and then I broke this bit, and so I gave up, and instead I smashed this piece of wood and pretended it was my computer. I guess I will try to get the CNC working again in a couple days. Alright, and here's me setting up for day 3. At this point, I was pretty confident that I'd be able to get it to work. I had made a lot of mistakes up until this point, and I learned a lot from them, and I had made a bunch of different changes to the software I was using and all of that stuff, so I was very hopeful that I would get it to work. It's working! Obviously, I'm aware I can't spell, but that's fine. This is where I cut through before, so let's pop these out and see what it looks like. Here they are, all cut out. I didn't go all the way through because I didn't know how to make tabs. I know you can make tabs so that it like skips over a part so that they are held in place. Before, I had sent some through. They're over here, and they had fell out before they were done, and then they just started routing through the thing, and this one was bouncing around everywhere, and it was routing it even though it wasn't supposed to be. So I let these a little overhang, so I'll have to cut off the extra pieces or just sand it down or something and make something out of this. All right, I finally got it done. Got it working. I'm not gonna finish the project now, just wanted to get it working. And that's gonna be it for this video, but I will be using this CNC in a lot more videos, so stick around and subscribe. I got some big ones planned. This was just kind of a test run, and obviously to get it, make sure it worked. So it works now, so I'll be building big things in the future. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to buy this CNC, there will be one linked in the description of this video. I should get just a little bit of a kickback from it if you buy it from my link, so hopefully you can do that. I appreciate you watching this video, and hopefully you'll subscribe and stick around and watch the next ones I make. Thanks for watching this one. Bye!